All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Off the Bench podcast with your hosts, Kobe and Aiden. Today, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals. Matchup is set. Game 1 is this Friday for us. Thursday.
Yeah.
Going to do a little preview. Little preview of that. We're going to be talking about some recent news that's happened only just a couple of hours ago with the new
Literally this morning.
Suns. Yeah, like literally as we woke up.
Tom Thibodeau being fired, and then
Some KD news.
yeah.
And
Then I've got a little game to play.
you got a little game.
I've got a little game to play. It's new, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
We're gonna start with my game.
Let's get.
All right. So the game's called Pause or Play.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The way you play it is I'm gonna read a takeout,
Okay.
whatever it is. Right. I could be saying Pacers are gonna win the finals. Right.
Okay.
And you would say pause if you disagree, play if you agree, and what?
Okay.
But these are takes that are a bit more spicy than that.
Okay. So it's out there stuff.
Some of them could be out there.
Okay.
Some of them are a bit more like, let's have a conversation. Okay?
All
All right, number one.
right.
Pause or play. If the Thunder win the NBA championship,
Mm-hmm.
SGA will be the greatest Thunder player ever. Play?
100%.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Why? Well, that shocked me, Lou. I can't lie. That's the view from the say, Paul.
No, it was like Russ is Mike. But
That's where I thought you were like, nah, Russ still or KD had him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But outside of like Russ being there longer, so him like achieving more personal accolades. What has Shea done that Russ or KD hasn't? They've all won an MVP now.
I mean, the other way around.
Yeah. What has Shea done that Russ or KD didn't?
That's what I'm saying, the other way.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we might have worded that wrong.
Yeah, okay, keep going.
So they've all won an MVP.
Yeah.
They've all won scoring titles.
Yep.
They're all, whatever. They've all won a Western Conference Finals now.
Mm-hmm.
If Shea wins an MVP, championship, and probably Finals MVP,
He probably will, yeah. If he wins it.
then what hasn't he done that the other two did?
I think my only argument to that would be, well, the chance that the Thunder got with KD, Russ, and Harden, they were playing a Miami Heat team,
Yeah.
Bromway, Bosch,
Right.
versus this Thunder team are playing Pacers.
Yeah.
It's a very different
It is a different team,
level of competition.
but a championship's still a championship.
It is a championship. I'm just saying, like, that would be my reasoning. And then the other one would be, obviously, if that 3-1 comeback that they lost. It's more of an embarrassing thing than anything, but that was to a 73-9 Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
No, I think Shea's.
I'm actually quite shocked that you said that.
No, he's already done everything that the other two have done.
Yeah.
So if he can win a championship, then
Okay.
I'm assuming he's still going to get more All-Stars, more All-NBA.
He'll get at least more of those.
He'll get the personal accolades to catch up with them.
I don't know if he'll get another MVP. I think he might get one more, but it's just such like it's hard for guards to get that type of award at times.
I mean, it's hard to predict. Like, by now, everyone thought Luka would have like 2. And that's just if he doesn't have any.
Yeah.
So it's very year to year. It is. And we were talking about it a few weeks back, but like the criteria for it kind of changes every single time. So it's hard to predict in the preseason who's going to be ahead. Like, you kind of be like, oh, Giannis is going to be there, Jokic is be there, Shea, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, those guys. But depending on what the voters view as, oh, you're the MVP, you can change your year.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough. I'm just a little bit shocked. I thought you were going to say no. Not yet.
No,
okay.
100%.
Yeah, okay. All right. We got number 2. I got 4 of these, by the way.
Okay.
Got 4 of them. Number 2. Pacers winning this title will become top 3 finals/playoffs run ever. Give you some context. You have like the Mavericks 2011 being known as the best finals run ever, where you've got like them beating Brendan Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Are we just talking
the Vic, Kobe, and Power? Then they beat. Might have been Thunder actually. Might have been Thunder next. Then they beat.
I don't know about
So would it be
Correct.
top 3 playoff runs ever?
I think it's definitely up there, but like,
So they went through Milwaukee in 5.
yeah,
Giannis and Milwaukee. I'm not going to really include Dame.
yeah, don't
Like, I'm just saying, yeah.
this isn't really there.
Yeah. Then they went through the Cavs. Donovan, Darwin, Mobley, number 1 seed Cavs, 60-odd win team.
Yeah.
Then they went through the Knicks, who again were the favourites. With Brunson, Cat, OG, Mikal Bridges, they have a good team.
Yeah.
Then they would have to go through an OKC team with the MVP in Shea. You would have Chet Holmgren, you'd have Williams, you'd have Hartenstein, but there's other guys as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're just a deep team. A very well-rounded team, 68-win team. Would it be a top 3 playoff run ever?
I don't know. I mean, maybe like
This is one of the ones that I thought was in between.
if they've knocked off the 2 number 1 seeds,
Yeah.
and like statistically, OKC just had the best regular season, like, or one of the best regular seasons ever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it'd be something. I don't know, but when I think of like historic playoff runs, I don't even always think of the champs.
Yeah.
Like, I think of a few years ago, that Miami Heat team, like that Cinderella run, like where they versed Denver in the finals. Yeah, they got smacked, but that playoff run, like, you weren't expecting a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it might be, to be honest. I'm trying to think of like other ones, and I don't know, just in terms of like level of competition, they were the underdog every series.
Which would always be Jing as well.
Too.
Yeah.
I think that might, maybe not. I don't know if I want to say top 3, but I'll definitely probably go top 5.
I was trying to look up whether any NBA team has ever beaten both number 1 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't find it. It just keeps telling me how each number 1 seed has fared.
Yeah.
Because that would be interesting to know whether it's ever happened before. Like, if any number 1 seed, I probably should have used stat moves, kind of like, didn't even go on there. But like, if any NBA team has ever gone through the gauntlet and beat both number 1 seeds, because you would have to do it in the finals. Were the Cavs number 1 seed? 2016?
In 16, man, it's just showing me wins all time.
Yeah. I think it's in my Celtics.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have to have a look and then come back to that one.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if that's ever happened before, because that's what the Pacers would have to do. They've had some massive comebacks. They've had some real big moments. That 14-point comeback with 2.5 to go. 20-point comebacks. They've had some big ones.
Yeah.
I think moments-wise, they're definitely not short.
No, they're definitely had some moments.
They've had some moments, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a top 3 playoff run ever if they win this title.
Yeah.
When everything's set in stone. Halliburton might be put on a Dirk-type pedestal. Of like, that underdog had just got him through.
I don't know about all that, because the team is pretty deep.
The team is deep, but when everything's set in stone, you look how people will remember it in 5-10 years. They tend,
that's fair.
They tend to just remember the star, maybe the number 2 or 3.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right, number 3. Anthony Edwards has a greater chance of being this generation's AI rather than the MJ or Kobe.
What do you mean by that?
Makes some deep playoff runs with a franchise that doesn't really support championship winning.
But he just never really got over that.
Never got over that hump, but it's like, not that many people blame AI.
Yeah.
He might get an MVP, but he'll never get over that hump. He might stay in Minnesota for a long time.
Yeah. Alright, so what was it? Would he be this generation's AI over MJ?
Or over the people being like, oh, he's the MJ of this generation, the Kobe. He turns out to be the AI of this generation. No. And he is a big, so this is where I got it from. people are like, he's the face of the league, but it's not because he's winning, but it's because how
his personality.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so AI, it was because of the way he dressed and his personality.
Yeah.
And that also is a very big thing.
But that's all white. I don't know. Nah. Pause.
What was it?
Because I think AI is better than Ian. Like, stop, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like the next few years could change that, but if we're just going off of what we've seen so far,
Mm-hmm.
and let's use the conference finals as an example, AI wouldn't have played, or hasn't played as poorly as he did in those conference finals.
I mean,
Like, we can both agree that Ian had one good game.
yeah, look, Ant played pretty bad, but I wouldn't say AI's never done that. Like, I wasn't watching basketball, obviously. In his early years, he might have done it in his early years. Before those runs, like, he might have done it when he was young too.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's why I'm starting off of like now. Like, if I did that, I would say Ant's probably going to win a championship at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
But if he doesn't, I don't think. Oh, well, maybe he is. So I was going to say, if he doesn't, it's probably not because of him. You know what I mean? It'd be because of like the roster construction and all that stuff. No, actually, play on that one.
Play on it?
Yeah, I just convinced myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, play on that one.
Like, you understand, like, he could be the face of the league and there's all this talk, but it's not even because of his court, like, on court. It's more his personality and that type of stuff.
Because I'm trying to think, like, even now, like, looking at what the media is saying, like, no one really blames, even though he played terribly in the fight.
Yeah, no one blames. Everyone's really because it's ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, no, play.
Yeah, I reckon that he could be this generation's AI.
Yeah. Yeah, play on that one. I convinced myself.
Yeah.
I was trying to, like, talk my way through it, and I'm like, oh, wait, actually, like,
This might actually work.
yeah, no, play on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one I quite like. I heard it last night. It wasn't meant to be on the list, and I was like, oh,
Let me throw it.
let's throw this in there. Halliburton
Okay.
is what Lonzo Ball was meant to be.
Nah. Pause.
You don't reckon?
Nah.
What was Lonzo meant to be?
I still think Lonzo was meant to be more of like a Magic.
And what do they compare Halliburton to?
Not Magic, bro. No.
People are compare his play style to what Magic's like.
Nah, I don't.
They say stuff like he's this generation's version of a Magic.
Nah.
He's the tall point guard who distributes well, except he can shoot the three. That's what a lot of people will say, yeah.
Nah, because I think if Lonzo was meant to be, the way like he was hyped up,
Was meant to be better.
he was meant to be better than what Halliburton is now.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I think Lonzo was meant to be better than what Halliburton.
Do you reckon a player with this type of style, though, could ever be viewed as like the best player in the league, though? Like nowadays, when everyone just loves the person who shoots and scores. It's kind of what I was coming from as well. I was like, but I don't know whether people would support this guy's the best in the world. He averages 20 points and he passes what? I feel like they all just want to see a guy who scores.
Yeah.
Scores.
Yeah, I reckon they could.
I feel like it'd be really hard for a lot of people to be like, yeah, nah, he's the best player in the world.
No, I reckon they could. Like, I think it all depends, like, on situation, right? Like, say Lonzo got drafted into the Lakers, as he did, and he panned out how everyone thought he would. What would you be saying about him? If he turned out to be like, say he put up Halliburton's numbers, but he was on the Lakers with all the hype that he had.
With those moments.
Say they had the exact same career moments-wise, it's just he was on the Lakers without that hype, he'd probably be, like, named as a top 5 guy.
Well, you could say the same as Halliburton.
I haven't seen anyone call him the top 5.
No, but I'm saying if he was on the Lakers where he's having these moments with the Lakers,
That's what I mean, right?
guys would be saying the same thing about Halliburton, like, oh, you could be like a top 5, top 10 guy.
But that's what I mean. It's all very situational. Like, because he's on the Pacers, like, I think his mold of play style can be a top guy. But I think him personally, and because of where he is and maybe who's on his team, all that kind of stuff, I think he won't be. Yes, but I think his mold can be. It just depends on where they are, like how hyped they are coming out of college. Like, maybe average a few more points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the mold, I just don't think he would.
Yeah. All right. So I think I got two. Two were plays.
Yeah.
One of them was don't know yet.
Yeah.
The Pacers playoff run. And Halliburton is not what Lonzo was meant to be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's better than I expected. I was expecting to get like one. I actually thought you'd say no about the Edwards one, but you did, and then you convinced yourself. So pretty good that take.
That was all me. They were good ones.
That one was the one that was all me. I didn't see that anyway. I was like, nah.
They were good ones. I like those ones.
Well, now we have NBA Finals.
Yeah.
We'll get into that one first. Pacers are not a finals anyone ever expected. If I'm honest.
From the East, I think everyone thought Thunder was going to make it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, no one expected Thunder Pacers.
Yeah.
Like Thunder, yeah, everyone expected. A lot of people expected Thunder to get through. Everyone was expecting rather a Cavs or Celtics team. But I'm not angry. I am not angry about this finals. I see some people trash it, like, oh, how boring. But I'm like, you know what? Play styles wise, this is so fun.
Listen, I'll be honest. I think people who trash it just aren't really into basketball. Like,
yeah, they're not the NBA fans.
In like the simplest way possible, you've got like one of the best defenses ever going off against one of the best offenses ever. And I don't see a world where that's not going to be like a great series.
Yeah. Yeah. You got teams that Pacers are kind of making teams run all season. They're like, come on, let's go, let's run. And Thunder are going to be like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
I like this.
No, I think it's going to be a fantastic series. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I agree. I think it's going to be great. I think it could go deeper than a lot of people think. I think out of the Pacers and the Knicks,
How do you see it?
Let me just finish this first. Yeah. Out of the Pacers and the Knicks, the Pacers were the worst of the matchups for the Thunder. Like, I don't think the Thunder cared who they got.
No.
But if they had to pick, they would have taken the Knicks over the Pacers. Like, let's take Knicks.
100%.
I think the Pacers are a harder matchup.
Yep.
Well, mainly because you can't just target people. Like, you can target Brunson and Cat. Like, you can target people on the Pacers, but not like you can Cat and Brunson.
You can't target as many.
And not as easily. Like, when you got two absolute liabilities as your starters, and not even just that, your two stars, it's very easy to target, especially when one of them was like 6 foot.
Yep.
And the other guy just
doesn't play these.
He's in between. I don't know if he's a guy. Let's be honest. But I think this series is going to go deeper than some people think. I'm not saying it's going to be Pacers in 7 or anything, but I think it could be a 6 to 7 game series, 6 game series, I reckon.
Okay.
I reckon it'll go 6. That's my thought.
Okay.
I think Pacers will get 2. And I think Thunder will win it quite comfortably. Thunder will go up 3-1 or something. But then Pacers will get 1 back, kind of what the Knicks did, and then just get done. And be like, okay, there we go. We won 2. That's what I think. I think it'll be a 6 game series. You're probably going to say Thunder 4. 5. 5? Yeah, 5. You reckon it's just going to be an absolute cakewalk?
No, not really. I think the games will be a lot closer. Like, if you look at outside of those 2 wins in the Denver series, pretty much all of our Grizzlies wins were blowouts, bar like 1. 3 of our Timberwolves wins were blowouts. I think this series is going to be a lot closer. I don't think there's going to be very many 20-point wins.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a few more crunch time games.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be like an easy series, but I think OKC in 5.
You guys did play in the regular season.
Yeah.
You won by 20.
Yeah.
And you won by 6.
And we didn't have Chet for either of those, or Hartenstein for one of them. We had no centers.
But I think a big part of it actually would be as well how Siakam is playing. Siakam is playing good. He is. I don't care.
He's okay.
He is playing good.
He's okay.
He got Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Halliburton deserves it.
Doesn't matter.
Give it to Nisi, man.
I'm sorry, but the fact that he got the award and nobody has really batted an eye and been like, oh, how has he gotten that?
Mm.
He played pretty damn good.
He was okay.
Let's go stat moves. Let's have a look.
I know the numbers.
You know his numbers?
Yeah.
He was 25, 5, and 1.3 steals a game, shooting 52% from the field, 50% from three.
Yeah.
If anyone else shot like that, you would be like, this guy's like one of the best players.
No,
One of the best in the league, man.
he played alright.
The only thing is I do think Halliburton deserved that award, but you got to give Siakam his flowers. He is playing good.
He played alright.
I almost want to get the stats up for Siakam and get them up for another player and just do a little blind reaction to see who you think's better. So you keep talking about your Thunder. I'm going to pick somebody.
Okay.
Okay, and go. I want to hear why you think Thunder are so good, like easily going to win the 5. Because you said 5, but you haven't really told me why.
It's going to be the defense.
Yeah?
I think the Thunder keep up with them on the offense. But defensively, I think Halliburton is going to have a shocker of a series. I don't know. He's going to play very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy who needs a bit of space to operate.
Yeah.
And he's gotten that every series.
Yep.
And he's not going to get that versus us, right? And you've got to look at even just like other guards. Look at Jar before he got hurt. Look at Jamal Murray.
Yep.
At Anth.
Yep.
Guards struggle against our defense.
Mm-hmm.
And Halliburton's not a scoring guard.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to have like pretty low points per game. I think he's going to struggle to get off some of the passes that he normally does because they're going to be really congested.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think for the Pacers, if they want to keep it in, it's going to be everyone's. It's going to be Naismith. It's going to be Nemhard. It's going to be Obi Toppin. It's going to be those guys that are going to have to do the hard work.
Yeah, okay.
But for us, I think Shea's going to average 35. I think Jalen Williams and Chet are going to have a great series. So,
would you say though, like, as like Halliburton doesn't, because he plays and doesn't need to score the ball to be effective, that point guards struggle, but he'll, like, you guys, for him to struggle, it's a different kind of struggle.
yeah.
Right? You guys should stop guys scoring the ball, but that's not really what he's out there to do.
No, but we've stopped,
You know what I mean? Like,
passes as well. It's like you got the turnovers in every game.
Yep.
Like the opposing team was always pretty high. Even the Nuggets, who were a pretty low turnover team, they were on the high teens of turnovers almost every game.
Yeah.
We just turned the ball over. And for a team like the Pacers, who rely so heavy on Halliburton's playmaking, that's where I think it's going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I think they'll do a little bit better than what you're giving them credit for.
That's what you said about Ants as well, though, do there.
Yeah, I was dead wrong with it. Can't even lie. Dead ass wrong. But that's okay. Alright, I'm getting players up. I've got one.
You've got one?
Got one. Yeah. Pascal. No, we'll read the other guy first. So, this is their 11th season. It's the both of them. So I counted through, went to their 11th season.
Okay.
So I thought that was the only fair way to do it.
Yes.
So you're going overall, go to the 11th season. One of them is 20.2 points per game, 6.9 assists, rebounds, 3.4 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.5 blocks, 51.9% from the field, and 39% from three. 38.9, but 39% from three.
Yeah.
Has one player.
Okay.
Okay. The other player is 19.5 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1 steal a game, 0.1 blocks per game, 47.7 from the field, and 43% from three.
Do these guys play the same position?
No, obviously not.
No.
But I'm just curious to see.
Because I was gonna say,
They're not. No.
I feel like you need to at least put the same position.
The next one will be pretty similar
Okay.
ish.
Um.
Position wise. Similar ish. Not really, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, guy one had overall better stats,
Yeah.
but I know guy one is also passive.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like you pick
Different positions.
who was the second guy.
Reggie Miller.
That's what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously Pascal's.
I saw this the other day and I was like, okay, I'm just going to chuck Reggie in and then I'll do the real one.
Yeah, obviously he's gonna have more rebounds like than Reggie.
I was less counting the rebounds than anything.
I'll count rebounds still.
No, like, I was just less counting. I was like, I don't need it.
No, I'm looking at it overall, bro.
Obviously, but like, when I was doing power forward versus shooting guard, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was a shooting guard.
Yeah.
You're just saying compare the number.
Let me find a power forward. All right, let me find a power forward, a good one. Because I did the next one, but they're also a shooting guard. But I was like, I was like, maybe they're a small forward, but no, shooting guard.
Mm-hmm.
So, my bad. I'm actually curious. How do I find power forwards, maybe? I'll just do power forwards, NBA. Let's have a look. Oh, my God.
You got this.
I've got this, guys.
You got this.
I didn't understand your question.
More cocky.
I wrote power forward stats in the NBA.
That's right. Doesn't matter who it was. I'm gonna take him over Pascal. Right.
All right, what about this next one? Shooting guard, mind you. Shooting out of game.
Yeah.
So maybe I won't worry about rebounds. Because obviously,
No, that's all about.
this guy is 21 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.6 steals, just under a block at 0.7, 48% from the field, 36% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy is 20 points per game, so 1 less, 7 rebounds, so 2 more, 3.5 assists, so 1.5 less, 1 steal, so the same, half a block, so just under by 0.1 or 0.2, and then 52% from the field, 4% higher, 39% from 3, so 3% higher.
Guy one. And I'd also bet money that guy one is Jalen.
I knew you were going to know who it was.
Yeah.
No, but you wouldn't take guy one.
100% I would.
So you would take guy one because he averages 1 more point.
Well, more because I know the player.
Yeah, you know the players, but off stats
Yeah.
that I've just read out, the only thing he really did better was a point
And this is
by 1. Steals are the same.
go.
His field goal percentage was worse. His 3-point percentage was worse. He rebounds less.
Do go.
Nah, that's so biased. That was a biased take.
You picked him.
Yeah, I picked him on purpose.
Yeah. Do go. 100%.
Why? What did he do that much better by stats?
What's that?
Yep, go. By stats, what did he do better?
1 blue. And more assists.
That's not even better. If we did it the other way around, and it was the other way around, you buff. No, but his field goal percentage is better. And I know it for a fact.
Alright.
Oh, that's just angered me.
Go on, man.
I should have got Chet Holmgren up. We both know who's better there.
Shit.
I don't reckon my stats would be.
Yeah, but you gotta look at.
There we go. There we go.
You're comparing
One guy's the third option.
It's literally though. You're comparing a third option to like.
Yeah, it's not Pascal's fault that he's better.
Pascal's the scoring option, though.
Exactly. Chet averages 15 points a game.
Yeah. How much do you want your third option to average?
Just saying, 5 less than Pascal, so he has a worse 3-point percentage and worse field goal percentage. Has more blocks, obviously, less steals, less assists, more rebounds, but only 1. Can you see Arkham? See, but now you're moving the goalposts. It's like you were voting for the MVP. Yeah, should move the goalpost. Why is he better now?
Who's sure?
Yeah.
Better impact.
No, okay. Okay. No,
100%.
no, no. For one, Pascal's a champion, so he has pretty damn good impact.
Jets about it, JD.
As a third option,
As a third option.
that's barely even a champion.
That doesn't even make sense.
All right, we're gonna move on because we could argue all day and just get more petty as we go.
Yeah.
All right, Tom Thibodeau gets fired from the New York Knicks.
Doesn't surprise me.
It did me. It did. Yeah. The Knicks. I didn't think they'd fire a guy that gets them to their first Eastern Conference Finals for a quarter of a century.
Mm.
It's been 25 years.
Yeah.
He gets in there and gets fired.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't think it was really his fault. Like, yeah, he could have played his players a bit more. He was a bit more, it was too much of a, I've got my 5 or my 6 or my 7 guys.
That's just who he is.
Yeah.
That's who we always have been.
But, like, it's not his fault. Cat didn't play defense.
Oh, no. I think that.
Like, those type of things that I'm like,
I think they have to make other moves as well. But
yeah.
I didn't see him hanging around. Nothing for like some of the coaches that didn't fire. You got better options. Like Mike Malone is a better option.
I did hear Mike Malone get thrown around quite a bit.
Even Mike Brown is a better option.
Sure, did Mark Jackson get thrown around?
Mark Jackson is a better option.
I don't know about better options though, because like I thought Thibodeau did quite a good job. I think, yeah, I wouldn't mind having these other guys, but I still don't think Tom Thibodeau deserved to be fired.
No, I don't know. Like he's been there for 5, 6 years.
Yeah, they've been in the playoffs. They went to the playoffs with Randall. He got injured, I believe, and they lost in the first round.
No, they've lost.
When did he get injured? Last year.
This
Was it this year? I thought he got injured last year's playoffs.
I don't think so. I was pretty sure.
Swear in one of the playoffs he was injured or something.
I'm pretty sure that might be 2 years ago because I'm pretty sure he played last year with Brunson.
Yeah, okay.
So
Then last year you have Brunson, you have Randall, second round Gabe Severs.
yeah.
Oh, you lose Adam SG.
Mm-hmm.
This year you go 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. Like I see a building.
Yeah.
I see a guy that is building this franchise back up. And I don't know, I just didn't really think he deserved that firing. Same as I didn't believe Mark Jackson deserved to get fired from what like when he got fired. It was like, I don't know.
I don't know how much the Knicks' success is because of him, right? Like obviously it plays a part, but they've also made good roster moves. Like, yeah, Cat was a bit lackluster versus the Pacers, but overall he had a pretty good playoff series. Mikal Bridges was massive. Like that's not Tibbs. That's the front office just going out.
Could I flip that though and say, well, then how much of blame goes on Tibbs? If you're not going to give him the credit, you can't give him the blame.
No, well, that's right. I don't think the whole lot goes on him either. I think he should have played deeper rotations earlier rather than waiting through midway through the conference finals to start playing 7, 8 players. But yeah, I mean, like, I mean, if Mike, because I think Mike Malone, goes there. Yeah, and I think if there wasn't such a deep pool of experienced coaches, I think he probably stays. But I think because there's so many decent options out there right now, I think they're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, okay. I do think it was a little bit hard done by, to fire the guy for whatever he's got him, but I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Like I said, I think there's other guys that you got to blame as well. Like obviously, Cat's one of them, and I think they need to make a few more moves.
Yeah,
because obviously this roster just isn't the greatest. But yeah, I put some blame on Tibbs, put some on Cat.
Yeah, fair.
So
I don't know, it's just not like who are you going to think about putting in? Yeah, Mike Malone's calling my guy.
Yeah.
But I still don't know if I think he should be traded. Not traded. Why did I say traded?
Fired.
Fired, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But moving on, because I don't know, there's not much to talk about a coach. We have Kevin Durant being fired.
Trade rumors, you mean?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting these two stuffed up. I've traded the coach and fired the player.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of trade rumors. So you told me this morning. Why don't you tell that?
So the Suns have come out and said that they want to trade KD before the draft, which is June 25th, so 2 or 3 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said that they want a center. They said that they want a decent pick for this year's draft. Yeah, I knew that I can have a look at the draft order.
So
Because obviously a KD trade is big news.
yeah,
But I don't think I think it's gonna be a 3-teamer. Because I don't know who you send him to
I think.
out of these top 10 guys.
Well, who can take his contract is a big one.
Like out of the top 10, the most realistic option is Houston.
Yeah,
Right.
but does Houston really want it?
If I was Houston, I think it'd be a smart move.
It's just hard because he's so old now.
Yeah. I think he's about to turn 38.
Yeah, 37 or 38.
But I think he's
Like quite old.
he's older, but he's still so good. So do you be like, all right, let's trade for him. Even if we just have him for 1 year, this is our year to go and try and
Push and then
make push.
it's just, yeah, like being that old, how much can you do with that type of guy? I could see a San Antonio could, like, same as how we're like, oh, like we get Giannis done. They could get this done. I don't like it, but they could get it done.
Yeah, they could, but I don't really like that for them.
I don't like it, but they could do it. And then this light, man. I don't know, like Dallas, nah, can't do it.
No.
This light, bro.
Apparently Philly is pretty set on keeping their pick. I've seen things.
Yeah.
I have seen that they're not that keen on Ace Bailey though.
Oh,
They're keen on VJ Edgecombe
I was thinking that.
and Carmen Maloa.
Okay.
It's a bit of a reach for number 3.
Yeah, I don't know about Carmen that high. I don't remember where I had him, but definitely wasn't that high.
I think for me, I think I had him going 9 to Toronto. So I don't know, maybe Philly, if that's their guy, maybe they trade down. But going back to KD,
Yeah.
if they want a decent pick, the only thing I can see is Houston, but then that doesn't really sort out their center problem.
No.
So I don't know, that makes me think there's going to
Unless they get a Şengün.
I don't know if you would trade Şengün.
I don't know if you would, but that is the only way you get both parties. That would be Rockets getting KD, Suns getting their center.
Hmm.
And you could probably, I don't know, like Houston could probably then have grounds to stand on and say, we want more. You wouldn't be able to get much more, but they're like, well, this is our future we're trading away, so.
Well, that's what I mean. I reckon if it's going to be,
give us a pick.
I reckon if there's a deal done, it's going to be a 3-teamer because I don't know, I don't see this Suns getting what they want out of just one of these teams. Yeah. They're going to have to bring another team if they want to get both their needs, unless they plan on trading more guys, which if I was them, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Also, with KD, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much does he move the needle for you at this point? Like, he's still really good.
But how much does he get you over that line?
Yeah.
Like, no. Okay, look where they were this year. 2nd seed, losing 7 to the Warriors.
Yeah.
KD in that series, let's say for Şengün, because that's the only way the Suns do it, I think, is if they get a center or Steven Adams. But again, I don't think that would. They would. Well, I just said center. Yeah. But let's say it's Şengün. How much further does he get them? I think maybe 2nd round.
No, well, that's where it's really like
fit
It comes
as well, though.
like I think if they had Şengün, if they had the same team, it'd be March.
That's what I was trying
Or say you replace Jalen Green, KD,
to.
second round.
Yeah.
Easy, right? I think they'd beat the Warriors.
But taking away the center to put him in is a bit tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if they wanted to make second round that roster, they would need Şengün and KD.
Yeah.
I think they're in the exact same spot,
Yeah.
if not worse,
Yeah.
if you swap those two out.
I would say worse just because the guy's older. Like, you train a young guy for a 37-year-old. That would be rough. Because in 2 years, he's 40. Good luck to you.
In 2 years, he's probably retiring.
Yeah.
I don't know in a minute.
I don't know where you want to send him. Like,
I don't think there's that I don't think there's that many spots for him either.
where he succeeds, because he's not going to go anywhere that he doesn't have a chance to win a championship.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Why move? I think it wouldn't shock me that if someone like Dallas shocked the world and just traded, but you wouldn't trade away Cooper Flag for that. San Antonio, it works money-wise, but I don't think they do it. Yeah, Philly, I don't think who do it.
No.
Charlotte can't do it.
No.
Utah can't do it. Washington can't do it. New Orleans can't do it. Maybe with Zion, but there's all that Zion stuff going on behind the screen, behind
The same.
the scene.
Yeah.
Brooklyn can't do it, I don't think.
No, all of them could. They all
Not really. Like, maybe, you know what? Washington might be able to give him Alex Sarr, but that doesn't make KD want to play for Washington Wizards.
Yeah, but KD doesn't really have a say either.
No, but he does, I think.
I don't think he does with Phoenix.
Yeah, I reckon he's telling Phoenix, I'm not going there.
I don't know.
I'm going somewhere where I can win.
I feel like I reckon the Suns will try and do it right. Yeah, they don't have to. Like, he doesn't really.
They don't have to, but I still reckon he has a say. So then I'm down to 8 picks down. There is nobody that I think, other than San Antonio, who could do it, and I don't think they do it. Toronto, I don't think can do it. Houston can.
Toronto, 100% Toronto could.
You reckon?
100%.
They would make that deal work, though?
100%.
Who would they get?
That's what I mean. I think all of these teams, right? Every team in the top 10 could 100% trade for him.
No.
It just depends whether he has a say or not.
Charlotte wouldn't.
100% they could.
Who was Charlotte giving them that you're like, yeah, let's do this trade?
Bro, Mark Williams, the number, 5? Where are they? Where's Charlotte's 4? Number 4 pick, Mark Williams, Miles Bridges, done deal.
I don't reckon Suns do it.
100% they would.
I don't reckon that.
You're getting rid of a guy who already wants out for the number 4 pick, Miles Bridges and Mark Williams. I don't think they do it. That solves the center problem. You get a decent wing to replace him, and you get the number 4 pick. 100% they do that deal.
But then there's also the fact that KD would go there, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm saying all these teams have the ability 100% to do.
Yeah, but half of these teams, like Utah, Washington, New Orleans, definite absolute no's from KD.
From KD, yeah, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they all 100% could.
Like,
It all depends if Phoenix,
like,
they like, hey, let's send you where you want to go, or, fuck you. Let's just try and get the best possible package.
yeah, like, it is, though, like, those organizations, if they choose to do it, even with KD, they are making no playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't help their team.
But, I don't know,
I don't think any of these teams do it. You'd take your top 10 pick.
say Phoenix does care about where KD wants to go, and we're taking his, career in the mind.
You got Houston, San Antonio. I reckon they'll try and talk to Philadelphia, but I don't know if Philly will do it, obviously, but they will have those conversations.
I think Toronto, and I think Washington is a spot, bro.
But there's no winning that can happen there.
No, but he's from Washington.
I still don't reckon he'd go there.
Because, I reckon if you trade for KD, then you're like, all right, we're making moves. Yeah, KD goes east to the Wizards, weaker conference, especially now with teams like the Celtics, who are pretty much going to be out of it next year.
Yeah.
The Wizards could trade for KD and make a few other moves. I'm not saying the Wizards will. I don't think they will. But they could, and then they could make a few other little moves here and there to try and make like an actual kind of push. At least get like some kind of relevancy back.
I don't reckon they would do it.
But in terms of realistic options for both sides,
That's where I went. San Antonio, Houston, Philly.
I
I don't think Philly do it,
think Toronto, bro.
but they're realistic.
I think Toronto is a spot, and they've got Iraqis 100%.
We'll add Toronto. I don't think Toronto will happen, but we can add him in. Other than that, like, I don't think they're going to look for a pick lower than 10.
Or even Atlanta.
I don't reckon they'll look much lower than 10, though. Because I reckon they're looking for, like, a real good pick. Like, I don't know.
For 13 isn't a bad spot.
To be fair, a lot of the centers we were choosing were around that.
That's what I mean. Like,
And then you're probably giving your center away.
the top 8 is really like guard, forward, head.
Yeah. A lot of the centers went through Toronto to Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta was probably the last center I took for a while. Yeah.
Toronto is a spot. I can like genuinely say that.
I know. I can't say Toronto. No.
What about it though?
I can't see Toronto giving Phoenix what they would want and still being able to have a team to make a push.
But they have the pieces to where they could make with a few other moves. Like Phoenix is, I reckon their asking price for KD is not that high. I reckon the package is,
I reckon's higher than people think.
I don't think, I think what they want, like obviously they'll take whatever the best is.
Yeah.
But I think what they're going to get is going to be a lot less than what people think.
I hope it's
And
less.
I think that's just because like 38-year-old Kevin Durant.
I think people are stupid, man.
And if you're,
They will give away a lot for a 38-year-old KD.
they would.
That's the problem, I think. And I think because of that, Toronto, to get him, will have to give up a lot more than he's worth. So I don't think Toronto would do it if they're like,
Toronto could give them exactly what they want. They want a center.
mm,
They want a draft pick. And they probably want something else to replace the scoring, right?
yeah.
RJ Barrett, Jakob Poeltl, 2 draft picks. You get a starting center.
See, like, I would tick that off. It's like, yeah,
And you get,
that's a good trade, that'll work. But I don't reckon Phoenix take that. I reckon Phoenix like, no, we need something else. You give us some more picks.
often that's a
I know.
fantastic deal.
I know it's a good deal. I'm saying that's what Phoenix will think they deserve, and that's what they will end up getting from a stupid team.
I just hope that their expectations aren't that high because
I reckon they are pretty high.
I don't think they're going to make.
Because my thing is, though, there are teams out there, like look at Dallas, for example, that did what they did with Luka, where they will make bad decisions. And I think Phoenix know there will be a team out there who is desperate enough to just throw everything at a 37, 38-year-old Kevin Durant.
No,
It wouldn't shock me if it happens and we're all looking at it going, what did you just give up?
not when they're in such a rush to get rid of him, though. Like Phoenix has said, we want him gone before the draft.
Yeah.
And in that, they're limiting themselves to their own offers because there's not going to be a whole lot of back and forth. If you're saying, all right, we've got 3 weeks and we want him gone, that's it. Like, they have him and they're the ones saying that. So they're kind of putting themselves in a tough position while other teams could be like, all right, this is the best I can do since you want him gone so quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not a whole lot of room for negotiation. We were technically,
I guess I could see on
you know, I could be like, all right, this is my deal. And technically, I'm doing you a favor because you want him gone in 3 weeks.
I can see where you're going, yeah. I guess. And I just reckon they'll end up trying to get more than what they deserve for KD.
They will.
And there will be a team that give them that.
But you've got to look at the value, right? Like, with the Luka trade, actually, that's a bad example.
It's a bad example because they took less.
Giannis. Let's say Giannis, right?
Yeah.
Giannis's value right now is up here. If he were to ask out, say, I want to be traded, his value's down here. And then if Milwaukee was like, all right, you want to be traded and we want you gone in the next 3 weeks, all of a sudden his value's down here. And it's just because of what's been said and what's happened, right? This is the exact same thing with KD. He said he wants out. Like, normally, they'd get beat a package.
Yeah.
Like, look at what they got. Look at what the Brooklyn got.
Yeah. For KD.
Or him. They got that package.
Yeah.
But because he's asked out, now they're like, oh, we want you gone in less than a month. All of a sudden, his value's down here.
I was thinking there'll be somewhat issue. I know, just because of how stupid teams can be, they'll give up way more than he's worth. And I reckon we'll see this trade, and there'll be like they really could have got him for less. That type of thing will happen.
I don't see it, but I think the package is going to be pretty small. I think they weren't even going at the deadlines. The teams already knew about it, and nothing happened. And now they're in a rush. So
That could affect it. I'll give you that.
I don't see them getting a decent package back. I reckon it's going to be a decent player, a decent pick, maybe some future picks, and like salary filler.
Yeah, okay.
And that's it.
Well,
and if I'm the Suns, realistically, I would take that. I'd take that.
Like, I would take it.
And leave it.
I would take it as well, but I just reckon somebody will throw it, or they'll be like, stupid. Someone's going to be dumb in this. That's just what I reckon. There always is with these big player trades.
So those teams, right, that would make the stupid move, like a Charlotte, if Phoenix is thinking about, oh, KD, where do you want to go?
He won't go.
That takes it out of it, right? Because Charlotte would be like, oh, let's
just give you that starting 5.
Let's just make a trade just to make a trade. Let's try and make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So let's give you everything that you want and more. But the teams that KD's like, oh, I want to go to, I think they're smart enough to be like, he wants to come here. You don't want him. This is the best we can do.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's going to end.
Yeah.
Whatever number we're up to for the podcast. I think 14. Off the Bench podcast. So make sure you subscribe and you follow for more. Yeah, comment what you want to see. We'll get around to it today. We were actually scratching our head on what to do.
Yeah.
We got there in the end, though. A lot of news came out this morning that ended up helping.
Yeah.
Came in clutch. Yeah, make sure you subscribe and you follow for more. And yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Cool. Cheers.